precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Sabrina Zawahir. The headlines. Final rites of the most venerable Velamitiave Kosaladama Thera will take place under full state patronage at the Torrington Square. The Prime Minister appreciates China of providing continuous support for the revival of economy. Measures to produce nanotechnology in the country. Minister Sarath Wirasekara says that all police investigations into the Easter Sunday attacks have been completed. The central bank has been receiving information regarding certain scams. And in world news, Iran ready to resume nuclear talks. Now the local news in detail. Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, Most Venerable Velamitiave Dharmakirti Sri Kusaladama Thera has passed away. The Thera was aged 84 at the time of his demise. He passed away last night while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Colombo. The President, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, has advised the relevant authorities, including the Secretary to the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, and Ministry to conduct the final rites of the Most Venerable Velamitiave Dharmakirti Sri Kusaladama Thera under full state patronage. Additional Secretary to the Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs said that it has been decided to conduct the final rites of the Thera at the Torrington Square premises. Most Venerable Kusaladama Thera, who served as the head of the Vidyalankara Pirivena in Peliyagoda, devoted his life in robes to uplift Sri Lanka's Buddha Sasana. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa appreciated China of providing continuous support for the revival of economy of the country. He stated this when he met the ambassador of China in Sri Lanka, Chi Shin-hong, at the Temple Trees yesterday. The Prime Minister also thanked the Chinese government for the support given to make the vaccination program a success. The Chinese ambassador also made well wishes to the government of Sri Lanka for carrying out the vaccination program in a successful manner. The Chinese ambassador also promised to provide continuous support to Sri Lanka. Nano-proficiency Professor Nirmala Kotage said that the patent permits which was received by the Sri Lanka Nanotechnology Institute for the production of nanofertilizer has not been sold to a foreign country. She also stated the patent permit was received in the 2010. She made these remarks at a media briefing organized by the President Media Unit today. She also stated that the Sri Lanka Nanotechnology Institute is being maintained by the state and provide joint system. She further stated that this patent permit has not been sold to an Indian company at any means. Joining the media briefing, Minister Mahinda Ananda Alutgamage said that measures are being taken to provide organic fertilizer to the farmers through agrarian centres. The government is dedicated to provide the needed fertilizer for the farmers without any shortage. The government is ready to provide compensation if the harvest is reduced. The relevant circular in this regard is to be issued next week. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing local news, Minister Sarath Wirasekara says that all police investigations into the Easter Sunday attack has been completed. The relevant report in this regard has been handed over to the Attorney General. 9 cases have already been filed in 5 high courts. He also stated indictment papers have been filed against 24 leading terrorists. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has been receiving information regarding certain scams where organized parties seem to be claiming that they have large amounts of foreign and or local currency credited to their accounts which have been temporarily blocked, and that they would pay handsome amounts to any person who can assist in unblocking such amounts. Sometimes they also show forged documentation that large sums of money had been credited to various accounts and they only need to get the approval of the central bank to withdraw such cash. CBSL urges the public to disregard such fraudulent notifications and practices and strongly advises all persons to be watchful of these scams. The Met Department says a low-pressure area in the southwest Bay of Bengal is likely to move nearly westwards towards the east coast of Sri Lanka, and showery condition is expected to enhance over most parts of the island under the influence of this system. Showers or thundershowers will occur at most parts of the island, particularly during the afternoon or night, and heavy showers above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places. Showers may occur in the northern, eastern and southern provinces during the morning too. With that, we conclude the local news. Next up is the main news story.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
A progressive review meeting of the Uma-Oya Multipurpose Development Project was held at the Badulla District Secretariat office recently. More attention have been focused on some issues created due to the project. Discussions were also focused on the payment of compensation for the houses which were damaged and the resettlement activities. The meeting was held under the patronage of the chairman of the District Coordinating Committee, Parliamentarian Major General Sudarshana Dhanipitiya. That was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Light.
Sri Lanka Medical Association says it is more important than ever before to take precise steps at this point of time within the context of the current regulations to prevent another surge of infections. The association also pointed out that the third dose of Pfizer vaccines should be provided for the priority teams when enforcing the present rules and travel restrictions under the stern observation. It has been stressed that the people should act in a responsible manner to follow health guidelines in order to ease the risk of the pandemic. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News.
The headlines of the world news: Iran ready to resume nuclear talks. Israel advances plans for 3,000 new homes in the West Bank settlements. Pfizer COVID vaccine booster shots recommended for Australians 6 months after second dose. Now the world news in detail. Iranian diplomats said yesterday they are ready to restart talks on reviving a nuclear deal. But they said they want US President Joe Biden to make a gesture of good faith. Iranian Foreign Minister Hassan Amir Abdulhani said leaders in Tehran want Biden to free up $10 billion in assets. US sanctions have frozen Iranian funds, mainly from exports of oil and gas in foreign banks. Amir Abdulhani deputy met in Brussels with European Union envoy Enrique Mora. Ali Bagheri said the Iranians agreed to start talks next month. Israel's government has advanced plans for more than 3,100 new homes in Jewish settlements in the occupied West Bank. A planning committee gave its final approval for 1,800 housing units and preliminary approval for 1,344 others. The announcement follows a public rebuke of Israeli policy from U.S. President Joe Biden's administration. It warned that it strongly opposed the expansion of settlements because it damaged prospects for peace between Israel and the Palestinians. More than 600,000 Jewish live in 145 settlements built since Israel's occupation of the West Bank and East Jerusalem in the 1967 Middle East War. Australians will be offered COVID vaccine booster shots 6 months after receiving their second dose after a final tick of approval from the country's expert vaccine group. The Australian Technical Advisory Group of Immunisation already recommended that severely immunocompromised people received a third dose of a vaccine but had held off making a decision for the rest of the population. Health Minister Greg Hunt announced ATAGI had now recommended boosters to be rolled out to adults. That ends World News. Prior to concluding the headlines of the World News once again, Iran ready to resume nuclear talks. Israel advances plans for 3,000 new homes in the West Bank settlements. Pfizer COVID vaccine booster shots recommended for Australians 6 months after second dose. With that, we conclude the World News. Next up is the Development News.
And now in Development News.
Pathegama Udupitiya Road in Nuwara will be carpeted and developed at a cost of 20 million rupees. This program was implemented under the national program to develop 100,000 kilometers of road. The project was initiated by the State Ministry of Rural Road Development and Infrastructure Facilities. That ends Development News.
Sports News.
Taking a look at the sports news, the match of the T20 World Championship Cricket Tournament will be held today between Sri Lanka and Australia in Dubai today. It will begin at 7:30 p.m. 16 T20 matches have been played between the two teams. Both teams have won 8 matches each and in equal status. This is the 4th time the both teams are meeting. Earlier, Australia won twice and Sri Lanka gained victory once. That was the sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Sri Lanka Ports Authority has planned to develop the existing port of Galle to accommodate the increasing demand for freight handling for Sri Lanka as well as an international regional destination. This is planned with the construction of a deep-water passenger vessel terminal and breakwaters dredging of entrance channel and basin and other facilities at the port of Galle to contribute to the economic development of the country. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic News, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
5 new airline companies are to operate direct flights to Sri Lanka. These flights will be operated from the 1st of next month. The airline companies are expected to maintain 2 turns of flights per week. That ends Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
Finally, it's a look at the weather report. The Met Department says that a low-pressure area in the southwest Bay of Bengal is likely to move nearly westwards towards the east coast of Sri Lanka. Showery condition is expected to enhance over most parts of the island under the influence of this system. Showers or thunder showers will occur at most parts of the island, particularly during the afternoon or night. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places. Showers may occur in the northern, eastern and southern provinces during the morning as well. That was the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. Final rites of the Most Venerable Valamitiyave Kusala Dhamma Thera will take place under full state patronage at the Torrington Square. The Prime Minister appreciates China of providing continuous support for the revival of economy. Measures to produce nanotechnology in the country. Minister Sarath Wirasekara says that all police investigations into the Easter Sunday attacks have been completed. The central bank has been receiving information regarding certain scams. With that, we conclude the news. Over to my friend and certainly yours, who's all geared up to keep you entertained with a wonderful collection of music indeed. Over to you, Heshma.